But anyway, all right, let's go. Go.
Welcome to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. We watched Young Guns. I still don't know why. Was it because Alec just called it?
It's because
we didn't feel like watching. Try to find something else on theme, so I just went through HBO Max and found something.
And the real answer is because Alec is a fucking G, and he's a top male, and this is what top males do. Okay, you would know Gogs.
Water.
You would not know Gogs because you're a low value male, low value male.
Oh my god, my tea is
hey,
so
Gogs.
Yeah.
What color is your Bugatti? Okay,
Bugatti.
What color is your Bugatti?
I mean, I can't even imagine what color my Bugatti is.
It's the color of cowards.
I can't spell Bugatti, let alone imagine the color.
Oh, I can't spell it either.
It's like Bug with Gotti at the end.
It's Bug Gotti.
Shit. That's why you're the alpha.
Yeah, we watched Young Guns, which really sounds like a gay porn. Like it really does. Also, and I'm sure we're gonna get into this. This movie, which I did like. All right, I'll just say that right now.
Yeah,
would be much better if they were all gay, and I think they're all gay coded.
1000%. Mr. Tungsten is bashing all of them in the buttholes, right? Like you took that, right?
I mean, they almost expressly say that to them, like they.
First of all, he's British. One,
right?
And second,
they don't call it bashing in the butthole; they call it a spot of the old buggery.
Right, and who collects 19-year-old and younger men, like wayward men, if they're not mashing them?
Kevin Spacey. Oh, not
exactly
that.
Right. Brian's nope.
All right, but yeah, we watched Young Guns. I'm very excited to talk about it. I think it's a fun movie, and I think we're gonna have a lot of thoughts on it. But what did we all watch this week? Alec.
I watched two things. One of which might cause issues for me because I watched Young Guns 2 also, and I'm worried that they're just going to blend together for me. Talking about Young Guns, I should have recommended that everybody watch Young Guns 2 also.
I almost did. Not that helps.
So I watched Young Guns 2, but I'm really not going to talk about it because we're going to talk about Young Guns enough. And Young Guns 2 is.
It's kind of the same movie.
Kind of.
Yeah.
More Young Guns.
It's also awesome.
I had both of those movies on taped off of cable TV on VHS when I was a kid, and I watched them both so many times that they both are the same movie to me. But I'm sure we're going to get into it. The actor that plays Pat Garrett in the first one isn't the actor that plays him in the second one, right? Yeah, I didn't think so.
One of John Wayne's sons in the first one because he barely talks, and then he has a much bigger role in the second one, if I recall.
But it's
the one in the second one is the guy from CSI,
Gary Sinise.
No.
Oh no, it's Peterson.
Yeah, William Peterson.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And also, Young Guns 2
when I first saw him for a second, I thought it was Billy Zane, and I was like, no, that he would have been way too young to be Pat Garrett.
Yeah. And the second one has the Bon Jovi soundtrack. I remember that.
Right.
But
and
none of it's,
I was wrong. Regulators is not neither of them.
No, but the Regulators
definitely in this one.
The Regulators.
You got to be handy with the steel.
The soundbite is right
there.
Oh no! Yeah. The soundbite is right in the beginning of the movie. I was waiting for the whistle.
Can't be any geek off the street.
That's a great song, by the way.
It's a great song, and it's a great fucking sample.
Also, I was going to say the sample, the Michael McDonald song. Can't forget, I'm not in love anymore. It's a good song.
So anyway, the other movie I watched was called what was it called? I keep forgetting the name because I think it had the same called How It Ends.
How It Ends.
Which, yeah.
Is it another Alec apocalypse movie?
Apocalypse movie.
It is. It came out last year.
Alec loves his apocalypse movies.
Yeah, I like movies where the world legit ends at the end.
Yeah, me too.
Alec doesn't like movies where people get hurt unless it's literally every person on Earth.
You can't spell apocalypse without A for Al.
Without Al.
I think all of Alec's letters are in apocalypse.
That nickname we all call Alec, Al.
Alpocalypse.
There's not an E in apocalypse. Oh yeah, there is at the end. I'll kill myself now.
It's silent. There's an E, but not where you'd think it is.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was called How It Ends. It stars what's her name? Zoe Lister-Jones.
I don't know who that is.
And she's
daughter of Tiny Lister, Joe?
No, not the daughter of Tiny Zeus Lister. And it was fine. It really was. She wrote it, she directed it, she starred in it, and it was kind of an excuse just to have all her famous friends in it. Like it's really just overall a series of cameos, pretty much from beginning to end, and she's encountering people from her past to try to achieve closure from her estranged parents and her best friend that she doesn't talk to anymore and her ex-boyfriend that she's still in love with. And then at the end, an asteroid hits the Earth and everybody dies.
Hell yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
This movie is not 2018's How It Ends with Forrest Whitaker?
Nope. I watched that too when it came out. And that movie slapped.
Oh, interesting.
That had Forrest Whitaker and Theo James.
Is that also an apocalypse movie?
It is.
It's not an end of the world apocalypse, but there's some kind of natural disaster, and they're trying to make their way across the country. Those two are to get to Forrest Whitaker's daughter, who Theo James is slamming.
Oh, Alex, I have a question for you, unrelated. Did you end up seeing Marcel the Shell with shoes on? Because that seems like an Alec movie.
I did not, and I keep meaning to ask TJ to find it to put it on the Plex.
It's not.
I feel like
I would already put it on there.
It's been out in theaters for like 3 months.
I know. I don't know. I can't help with stuff. I would have put it on there already.
That's crazy.
I figured you wouldn't want to watch it.
Like, I feel like when I watch it, it's going to be my top movie of the year. Like,
people really like it. It's been getting really good. I was
so excited for that movie, and the trailer looked incredible. But yeah, How It Ends is good. The best part about it, well, it's perfectly fine. Like, I enjoyed it, but it's also under an hour and a half. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Perfect.
I think it might have been an Amazon original. But it's got a ton of cameos in it. Charlie and the waitress are in it. Dennis is in it from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, no shit.
Fred Armisen.
Is it a comedy? It's a comedy.
It's a emotional comedy. It's more comedy than.
I think I saw a trailer for this. Now that you mention it, now that you said all those people, I think it's kind of like a mumblecore-ish kind of movie.
Is it like a speaking a friend for the end of the world type comedy like that, or no?
It's a little more funny than that and a little less drama.
Okay.
But yeah, it's in that vein more than like These Final Hours where it's awful.
A Miracle Mile, which you never saw, but you should because I think you'd love it.
You'd love it, yeah.
Maybe I'll watch that Friday. I got a day off to watch some stuff Friday.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it for next week.
It's an emotional roller coaster, that movie.
Yeah, and the only other thing I watched was and her dad in it is Bradley Whitford, who, shout out to Bradley Whitford for like somewhat having a career in like the 90s and then kind of going away for a while. And now he's in everything and he's great in everything that he's in.
He rocks. Yeah,
and I love him. He's so good in everything. He's in Young Guns too. He's the lawyer at the beginning that old ass Billy the Kid is talking to, trying to get him to take his case to like get a pardon from the government.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I also watched Young Guns too, but I really, in retrospect, I shouldn't have because I can't really talk about it because we're reviewing the first movie here. So
I do have a question about Young Guns too.
I watched them both back to back, and it was an amazing 4-hour experience. I watched them the other day while they were putting in my new bathtub, and I couldn't do anything. And just sit around the house watching movies all day.
Did you sit in the bathtub while they were putting it in?
I sat in the old one while they carried it out.
Does Young Guns 2 also based on a true story?
I mean Young Guns 1 is barely based on a true story.
It's very loosely, right? I'm just curious.
Apparently, I was shocked that Young Guns 1 is one of the more historically accurate versions of those events, which is insane.
That right? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's it called? Like the something County War?
The Lincoln
County War.
Yeah, and the Young Guns 2 is, from what I read on IMDb and Wikipedia, a fairly accurate account of the hunting down of Billy the Kid by the. No, that's a different guy. I was gonna say the coward Pat Garrett, but that's a different guy. But Young Guns 2 fucking slaps. Just like if you like Young Guns 1, there's no reason you're not going to like Young Guns 2 unless you just want to be a contrarian. Young Guns 2 also slaps.
And I don't want to step on, I guess, our review, but is Young Guns 2 as like crazy violent as Young Guns 1 was? Because I did not recall like how, I don't want to say gory, but like over the top violent Young Guns was.
There's a lot of violence in it. A lot of people getting got, a lot of blood. Like not just like people getting shot and falling down, like they're like bleeding out and stuff.
Yeah.
It is awesome. But yeah, that's it.
Barry Sanders is fast.
I mean, he's still probably more athletic than any of us.
Oh,
he could probably still juke us out of our shorts. Shout out to poor Barry Sanders, wasted 15 years or whatever on the Lions.
Yeah,
when he was just like, I quit, and then Calvin Johnson was also like, yo, I quit.
The Lions, the Lions are so bad. They forced 2 generational talents to be like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah,
do you want to play for somebody else? No, I'm just done.
No, I just don't want to play anymore.
Calvin Johnson started his career, ended his career, retired, and went into the Hall of Fame all in the course of Tom Brady's career.
Yeah, it's wild, right?
Did you see that thing that was going around where Albert Pujols, when he hit his first home run, Tom Brady had 0 starts and had thrown for 6 total yards?
Jesus Christ.
That's how long both those motherfuckers have been doing it.
Pujols, if he plays like a couple more years, he might be able to get the record. He's only like 60 home runs away from the record.
Yeah,
I don't know if he got 60 more in him, but if he plays a few more years, maybe. But enough about baseball.
Baseball, the podcast.
TJ.
Oh shit, I'm TJ.
Oh, we got to tell Sean about our illegal baseball podcast we're going to host from live from Memorial Park.
We had the idea that we were going to host a podcast at live baseball games where we broadcast the baseball game, but we wouldn't upload it for a week. And then we get sued by MLB.
Get play-by-play 1 week later.
Yeah, we do the play-by-play in a live game, but upload it a week
it would be cool
the...
just so we could be in the fucking, well, what do you mean, Netflix, like the Tubi documentary of like the podcast that took on MLB.
Yeah, right?
Chunk boys.
It was
nice to see Nate in the picture with you guys. I didn't know he was coming down.
It was awesome. Yeah. Great time. It was a lot of fun. That Nate, solid dude right there.
Just the nicest. Although he looks like your like uncle. He looks like your stepdad in the picture with his polo shirt. Like he had to take you guys to the game.
My parole.
Like, all right, guys, pile in.
We should have got him a chain too.
Your mom says I need to go with you. You're not old enough to be on your own.
Please don't call me dad.
I'm Mark. I'm fun.
Yeah.
Call me fun.
Sorry,
I'm
all right, TJ,
dad. Go. Oh, you're fine. I watched one thing. And
Was it Bodies?
It was.
I almost watched that today because I really want to see that.
I'm glad you didn't, because there was something wrong with the file that I uploaded. Like an hour in, it like ganked out, so I had to download a different file and watch that. But it's fine now. It's good now. It's nothing wrong with it now. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. This is another A24 horror movie. Really more like a suspense or like murder mystery than like a straight horror movie.
It's also like a comedy too, isn't it?
It's like a black comedy. Yeah, it's funny because last week I talked about trailers versus the actual film, and I think like the thing that I was a little worried about with this movie is the trailer like crammed in all of these like kind of contemporary like what's the word, academic language, like, oh, you're triggering me, oh, this is toxic, like that kind of thing. And the movie is making fun of those people. Like it's actively making fun of like affluent rich kids. And I don't know if like I don't think you get the proper context in the trailer, but it doesn't affect like I think the movie is really, really clever. It's really well done. Basic premises, these fucking rich kids, they have this like kind of like getaway weekend to this like huge mansion, and they're getting drunk and high, and there's some interpersonal tension between all of them, but like nothing serious. And then they play this game called Bodies, which is this like, fake like who murdered you kind of thing. And then someone actually dies, and I don't want to give the rest away, but It's very tense. It's interesting. You don't know which way it's going to go. There's a lot of twists and turns. And ultimately, the ending is very satisfying. Like, it's not what you'd expect. And it's also kind of perfect. I thought all the actors were really good at it.
Was Pete Davidson insufferable?
I do not like Pete Davidson, like, for the record. But he's kind of an asshole. Like, he's supposed to be an asshole in this movie. And it works. Like, I do not like, I find him, like, he has go home heat for me. But he's good in the movie. Everybody's really good in the movie. Borat's, like, daughter or whatever from Borat 2 is one of the girls in the movie. She's really good. I'm not familiar with the other actresses. Like, I've never seen him in anything else. One of the actresses is what's her name? Rachel Sennett. And all I could think about is that she used to date Stavros Halkis, and I just couldn't. That's the only thing I could think about, because she's kind of hot and she has like huge boobs, and I'm like, Stavros is like a big fat slob,
repellent.
You know, like, I love Stav, but like, I'm like, God damn, she pulled that. Like, money rules. But she's really good in it. Like, I really enjoyed the movie a lot. Like, it's funny, it's violent, it's like, directing wise, like, it's lit really well. Like, the whole movie is done in like low light and like almost in the dark. Like, a lot of the scenes are like illuminated like artificially and whatever, but like are lit by, like, they're all wearing like glow sticks and they have their cell phones, so a lot of it's like barely visible, but like shot really, really well. I thought it was really clever, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's like an hour and 28 minutes, so it's just like, doesn't, you know, it's a simple premise, doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. It's probably gonna end up in my top 10 by the end of the year. Like, I not, and that's getting closer and closer, shockingly enough. But yeah, bodies. Highly recommend it. Can't wait for the prequel, Body, and the sequel, Bodies. Thank you very much. Tip your bartenders.
Oh, that was a joke.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Man.
I'm not looking forward to the first week of December when I have to watch 17 movies in the same week just to have something to talk about.
I almost watched Rob Zombie's The Munsters, but I don't hate myself enough. It's on the Plex. Also, by the way, real quick about Rob Zombie's The Munsters. One of the sites where I download stuff that falls off the internet truck, Yiffy, they have user reviews, and they have like the most random grab bag assortment of movies, but generally you don't see anything lower than a 2 on there. The Munsters is a 0. It's rated 0.0, just like that scene in Animal House.
Yiffy? Is it run by furries or something?
I don't know what it actually stands for. I don't even know. It's like an acronym, or it's an initial.
Oh, okay.
I don't really think it's. I don't know what it was probably meant something initially, or it was the name of the original like uploader, but it's YIFY, which I always call Yiffy. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So bodies. Check it out. Very good. Sean.
I pulled a Gogs and watched like portions of a couple things.
Partitions.
Alan
Parsons project.
I'm watching the map of this tornado or this hurricane coming to slowly destroy my town.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I watched like 2 episodes of an anime on Netflix called The Way of the House Husband.
It's about Chris Parks.
Please, hey guys, if you're not busy, can you donate $1,000 to my PTA? Fuck. No, it's interesting, but it's got that weird like where it's not quite a motion comic, but it's not fully animated, so it's like really still, and like I don't want to watch a cartoon that doesn't move, so like I skipped that. And then it was late, and I turned on the Batman, and I'm like, and then like
that is not a movie to watch late.
Right, and I'm like, oh, this is 3 hours long, so I'm watching it, and so I'll talk about the first half an hour, I guess, because I plan on finishing it at some point.
Have you seen it yet?
No, this is my first viewing. I don't know if I'm the only one or I'm just putting this on there because of my age. I got heavy The Crow vibes for the movie, especially like when he just shows up at the nightclub and knocks on the door, which is like a very un-Batman film thing to do, but I thought was like really visually interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
I thought the fight staging was really good in that scene specifically. Like, the acting's good so far. Good. Yeah, like again, like it felt like a lot like The Crow. It's weird to hear.
I definitely see that. I didn't think about that when I've watched it a bunch. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but it's definitely there. I can definitely see where you're coming from on that.
Have an original concept, Matt Reeves. Come on.
Right? I almost called it a contemporary song, even though it's like 35 years old now. But having an actual song in a Batman movie is like really interesting choice, especially that song. I think it works really well. The only negative, and I don't know, it's not even a negative, it's a stylistic thing, but it is so dark. Like I couldn't actually like. There's no way I would have made it through watching it. You know what I mean? I would have fallen asleep at midnight trying to watch it. So
it is very dark.
Yeah, but no,
and it's at night.
Yeah, and then my dad said that the Nolan Ryan documentary on Netflix is really good. So watch that, I guess.
I saw that today. I didn't watch it, but I saw it on there.
Yeah. Gogs.
So somehow
in my ass.
I watched two things, but it's really like I watched four things.
Four things.
Questionably four things.
Possibly four things.
Exponential things.
So I was dicking around, and I think we were talking about this a little bit when we were going to the ball game, but I watched the Fellowship of the Ring, but the extended version. And I hadn't seen that movie in a very long time. I know Alec just rewatched those. That movie fucking rules. Like, I don't think I've watched that movie. I've never watched the extended version ever. And I don't think I've watched the Fellowship of the Ring for at least a decade. Like, I haven't, at least that. And I was actually a little worried to go back to it. I was like, is this going to hold up? Held up just fine.
Yeah.
Loved every fucking minute of it. And let me tell you, I was like, is the extended thing going to feel hokey? I liked all the extra world building. I'll be honest. I watched a 4-hour movie and I was like, you know what? Boromir got a whole lot more interesting because of this. Like, I don't know.
It's been so long, but they had like the Mithril scene, and I think Shelob is in it for like 2 seconds now. Where
you get a lot more world building out of it. You get a lot more.
Shelob wasn't in it originally, right? I think
she's in the third one.
Oh, okay.
But you get like even
they turned her into a sexy chick in the video game.
even the part where like it opens where it's Bilbo writing like there and back again. It's like first of hobbits, even though just talking about Hobbiton and the hobbits. I was like, okay, this wasn't the movie. This is nice. This is fun. So I enjoyed the hell out of that. And then I was like, well, let's keep this train rolling. So somehow over the course of the week, I was able to watch that and the extended version of the Two Towers.
Wow.
And that movie fucking rules.
Two Towers is the best. It's the best of the three, like by far. Even though I love all three to death, Two Towers is the best one.
There's some parts with Faramir that are kind of clunky, but like on the balance, that movie kicks a pile of ass, and the whole thing in Helm's Deep kicks ass. Like I was laughing, like the dynamic between Orlando Bloom, who plays Gimli.
Reyes, or I was going to say
Rhys Davies.
Hardcore conservative John Rhys Davies.
Yeah. That's a shame, but
it is a shame. He's like crazy out there.
Oh, he don't like Muslims.
But between him and those,
which is funny because I'm pretty sure his character in Indiana Jones was a Muslim.
Oh, incredibly,
yeah.
He was incredibly Muslim.
Yeah.
So
how Muslim was he? Super.
The scene, like just their chemistry, especially like as it develops into the second movie, is I'm not gonna like say something sacrilegious and say it's on par with Quentin them, but it's very close. Like it's a bond between these men that I really like, and the parts with John Rhys Davies as Gimli are legitimately funny, like laugh out loud funny to this day. Like his timing in that movie is fucking great. So next week I will probably watch the extended version of Return of the King. And
the extended versions are all on, I think, Prime and HBO Max. Are you watching on one of them?
I watched it on HBO, yeah. So it's like I'm saying, it's been like I've been I haven't watched, like I was saying, any of these movies in like a decade. I'm really happy that they still hold up. Like they're probably still a little too old for Vance, but I'm looking forward to being able to show them these at some point. Because these are
most of the effects hold up. Like not even just like
they
a story.
Really do.
Like because so much of that stuff he tried to do is much like practical with like forced perspective and stuff like that instead of CGIing. Unlike the Hobbit movies, which are like 100% CGI.
Yeah, the Hobbit movie looks like shit. Like all of them look bad.
I was thinking like the cave trolls and stuff would look like shit. They don't look bad. No. And all the orcs look fucking. The amount of detail and how gross they are.
Well, most of the orc stuff is like practical too. That's why. Like it's a mixture of both, and they look great. Like that scene in Fellowship where they're like creating the orcs and they're coming up out of the ground. That shit looks fucking awesome.
And gross. I remember seeing that in the theaters and just be like, ugh.
Yeah, I was fucking nasty.
Pass.
You will dine on man flesh. And God's just like, yes, hell yeah,
finally.
Hell yeah.
No, not that way.
No, stop. Please, no. But yeah, that kicks a pile of ass. And I did want to ask you a question. Do we have a theme for Christmas this year?
That's not a question, TJ. That's just a statement.
Oh shit! I always fuck this up.
I have a theme for every month until next summer.
Okay.
Christmas was Happy Honda Days, video game movies.
All right. Well, then
maybe if you can beat that, then whatever.
Oh, mine was going to be.
I'm not married to any of these ones I picked out.
Happy Honda Days is pretty good.
I was just. We did Christmas cheer, all cheerleader movies.
Not bad.
We could watch Sugar and Spice. We could watch Bring It On.
And that I'm a Cheerleader movie about the lesbians.
Bring It On 2.
Bring It On yet again.
There's a lot of Bring It On.
It's like 4 of them.
Yeah.
We can continue to Bring It On.
We can just have a Bring It On month.
I don't know. I kind of like the video game movies.
Spring It On.
Spring It On. There you go.
All right. I like Happy Honda Days. I'm not mad at Happy Honda Days.
It's pretty good. All right.
That's it. So yeah,
that's everybody. Gogs, tell me what in the hell happened in Young Guns?
Okay.
What happened in Young Guns? A whole pile of asses got kicked, and it was
shot.
A lot of freedom.
And some of the worst like gun cover you'll ever see this side of Commando. People are just out in the open.
Oh, just like laying on the ground.
Oh my god, they're like planned at the end of the movie. It was like fucking horrendous. Like all of them should be dead. Like their plan was let's just shoot in front of this wall of people with guns, and somehow we got away. Well, some of us did,
sort of.
The element Charlie did. The element of surprise.
Yeah.
So you're introduced to the Young Guns, and then you're introduced to how they all get together, which is Terrence Stamp, General Zod himself, is an acquirer and purveyor of young men,
of boys,
and
all the young boys handle his hogs.
Oh, yeah. Oh shit! They really do handle his really wild hog.
Were you about to break into a Mott the Hoople riff?
Hell yeah! All the young dudes send Gogs the nudes. No. Send Gogs the nudes. That's not just.
So yeah, I'm going to teach you to defend my pigs and also be learned gentlemen. Like that is the codiest of codes.
Also, it was fun to see Terrence Stamp. When I was a kid, I don't think I knew who Terrence Stamp was. It was cool to see him in this. I was like, oh yeah.
You didn't remember him as General Zod? You knew he was General Zod.
Not really.
It's hard to picture him as General Zod because in Zod he has that like.
Doesn't he have like black hair?
Jet black, like copy toner black hair, and like the really thin like mustache and beard.
Also, like I don't know about you guys, but I was like a child. I didn't have any like retention of like actors and shit. I mean, I still really don't, to be honest. Like,
fair point.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't like every movie was a new adventure with new people.
Hey, Dad, look, it's Terrence Stamp.
I mean, like, I would say, besides,
Dad, isn't that Casey Zamasco from Third Block High?
Right. Like, I knew who Harrison Ford was, right? Like,
no, you knew who Han Solo was.
Right, exactly.
Like, hey, Han Solo's in this movie.
But, like, I don't think I really knew, like, I don't know, Terrence Stamp isn't, like, Harrison
Do you
Ford.
remember,
Also,
like, speaking
Let me
of,
tell
do you
you, I
remember?
was a young man.
hold on. Go ahead, Sean. Sean first.
No, I was gonna say, do you remember, like, in those instances where you'd see, like, Harrison Ford in some other movie and be pissed because he wasn't doing Han Solo stuff because you were young and didn't understand?
1,000%.
Like,
It's also the Howard Stern riff that every movie should have Spider-Man in it, and he's kind of right. Anyways, go ahead, dogs.
I would say the first time I ever saw Empire Strikes Back, I didn't even know there was a sequel to Star Wars. I was like, why is not? I saw Luke Skywalker. I saw Luke Skywalker on the screen. I go, okay, cool, Star Wars. Then nothing Star Warsy was happening. I was like, why are they on a swamp? Like, what?
Hilarious.
I was like, did they rip off? I was like, Mom, they ripped off Star Wars. Like, what is happening?
That's
Like
hilarious.
the sequel did not.
I don't think I saw the original Star Wars till I was like 10 or 11. Like, I saw Jedi when I was very young, but like I didn't have access to the movies until like video set.
Whenever Star Wars was available, whenever it became like property of NBC's Movie of the Week, me and my dad would like watch it on the regular, and I just thought that was all there was.
Yeah.
And then one day on cable at my grandparents' house, because we didn't have cable, all of a sudden Empire showed off, and my world was blown to smithereens.
I only know this because my mom brings it up to me a lot, but like apparently when I was like very, very little, we had A New Hope on Betamax. And I used to fast forward to like the trench scene. I guess I knew how to operate the fucking Betamax. Yeah. So I was like, that's base. Like I went right to the good parts.
Tape probably got worn out real fast.
Oh yeah. Betamax so higher quality than VHS. Google it.
No,
much bigger
100%.
tapes too.
But porno went with VHS.
Yeah.
So anyway,
right. Just like HD DVDs. I wonder if Vinny still has this HD DVD player.
God bless. I think it'd be adapter for his Xbox or whatever. All right, so enough with all that. So anyway, Terrence Stamp is collecting boys. His latest boy he's added to his menagerie of boys is a young Billy the Kid.
William Bonney.
Henry McCarty.
Played by Based Estevez because he's the only one who kept their real name.
Yep. Not
scared. There's a Joe.
There's a Joe Estevez?
Yeah, he's been in shit we've seen.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, Based Emilio. So, Emilio. He enters this cadre with some people that have been in some stuff. You got Lou Diamond Phillips. You got his brother Charlie Sheen. You've got
Lou Diamond Phillips' brother Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips' brother
Lou Diamond Phillips, who I know we talked about it last week, but it never ceases to make me laugh. That's like Filipino guy. I don't know, Indian, Mexican.
Well,
he's like the original
he was
Cliff Curtis.
Exclusively Hispanic because it was like this and La Bamba, I think, were the two movies I saw when I was a kid. Shout out to La Bamba, a movie I saw 29 times when I was 10 years old.
That movie rocks. It's a good movie.
According to the trivia for Young Guns, they would make Lou Diamond Phillips. They would all get drunk after filming and make him sing songs from La Bamba.
Oh, that's
amazing.
Pretty regularly.
Awesome.
IMDb goofs.
So we also
I already
had,
fucked the joke out. Never mind.
We also had Kiefer Sutherland, who's great.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that like chews tobacco and is gross? I don't know that guy.
Dermot Mulroney.
Dermot Mulroney, yeah.
What's he been
in? He's got 140 acting credits.
Excuse me. I need
he
a
was
sneeze
in
button.
My Best Friend's Wedding, and he was in.
Oh, wait, I know that motherfucker.
He's the guy that's not Dylan McDermott.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Wow, he looks a lot different in this movie.
Like
was Billy in anything?
No, that's the
or no, the guy that gets the wife that gets shot. What's that guy's name?
That's the only guy, Casey Sizemasco.
He's in Three. Did you ever see 3 O'clock High? That movie's actually really good about the kid that
talk about 3 O'clock High. Yeah,
the bully's gonna beat him to death.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, that's him. He plays the nerd in that movie.
Oh, no shit.
He did a lot of TV, but he was the only one that he probably had the least career of any of the youngest guns.
But maybe the best
youngest guns.
Maybe the best fucking portrayal of anything in this movie. He's really good in this.
He's very good in this movie. He's a pugilist.
I like Emilio Estevez, but he kind of sucks. Like he's
chewing it. little bit.
He is.
Well, he's the worst actor in the whole movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's
but
fun
he's
as
still
hell,
like,
but,
he's like playing Billy the Kid like as if he was insane.
Yeah,
he's playing him like totally
it's like that's what it felt
he's like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, just like laughing at inappropriate times. I can't control my laughter.
He has a weird obsession with President Hayes. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he mentioned
I'm
a lot.
I'm tired of pretending to like to handle your hog, and I'm not ashamed to say that I do.
Anyway, sorry. So we're 5 seconds into the movie.
So we've acquired all of these guns.
I mean,
all these young guns.
Do you need a plot for Young Guns?
No, let me just tear through it.
It really doesn't have much of one.
Well, so you then are introduced to the preeminent beef war of the Midwest, circa 1878 or whenever the hell this happened, between Terrence Stamp and Jack. You never touch another man's rhubarb Palance. And he's acquired a young woman named China, which becomes problematic later.
They keep referring to her as a celestial.
A joke it's not a joke in the movie, but a reference I only got because of Frisky Dingo.
Yeah.
So
a celestial. Jesus Christ.
So the youngest guns, their
also
father,
Jack Palance has acquired a Tom Cruise for like half a scene.
Yeah, I missed Tom Cruise in this. You guys said he was in the movie. I missed him.
He's got a beard and shit. Yeah, like.
Not Jack Palance. Terrence Stamp. He's got his boys. He's got his beef. He's got his beef boys. He's teaching them how to live and rope and ride and read. And everyone's pleasantly surprised.
Sounds like a country song.
Everybody's pleasantly surprised that Billy the Kid can already read, which is good for any kid. And then things kind of go awry because they're coming back from a hootenanny for the new year, and they're all riding back, having a good time. And I think they saw, I don't know, some deer or something, and boys were going to go be boys. So they go all traipse down a hill, and then Terrence Stamp, I guess, who's fucking deaf, had an entire herd of cowboys ride up behind him on horseback sneakily, and then they fucking Sonny Corleone him.
They really do. That's the best way to describe it. That it really felt like that.
They shot him so much that he sprung up out of his buggy and did like that. He did like a flying fish thing.
T-posed. He did like it was like a bad video game. Like, it's fucking wild. That scene is crazy.
Yeah, the physics engine fucking rebooted on Terrence Stamp dying.
I know I mentioned this earlier, but this movie's like intensely violent. Like I can't believe my parents let me watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy violent.
So then we dem boys are like, we got to bury we dem dads. So they bury Terrence Stamp, and then they go looking for justice in all the wrong places, including the sheriff from Tombstone. But this time he's a lawyer, and he's able to talk the powers that be into deputizing these young guns into being agents of justice. So they immediately abuse that power and start summarily executing people in the planes.
Just like cops. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, so I guess ACAB still. All cops are bad.
Yeah, ACAB includes the young guns.
ACAB includes young guns. So
all cops are Billy the Kids.
So it all starts by Billy the Kid just dick shooting a man in an outhouse, and then chaos ensues. Then they find a couple more, and God bless him, Charlie Sheen's like, we gotta do this right, and that doesn't work out because they end up killing a bunch of other people.
The moral center of this group, and he's like religious, which is kind of like it's like he just kind of says some things about you godless heathens, and he has like a prayer. I don't know. They
that's after all they take fucking peyote.
They could have leaned into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, more. They take that like what is it?
Ayahuasca.
And they are shit faced for like days in the middle of the day.
There's actually I really like the scene where it's fucking I don't know if it's a callback to his dad or not, but the part where Kiefer Sutherland's sitting there talking about the butterfly and like just kind of and all this chaos is happening around him. Like it's very reminiscent of the scene in Animal House where his dad gets high with the members of the aforementioned Animal House, and they're talking about the size of the universe, and he's just sort of like pondering it and like kind of walking through it.
This is the best scene in the movie. Like, this is like Jim Jarmusch directed it, and like, I don't know if you're gonna get to this, but I'll step on it already. Where they're riding through the Indian town, and they're like, they're not saying nothing. He goes, "We're in the spirit world, asshole. They can't see us." I fucking died.
Awesome. So the youngest guns are out there doing their drugs and shooting the bad guys. But now they're starting to ruffle the feathers of everybody because of all their their extrajudicial executions are catching the evil eye of Sauron from Washington, and now they're sending troops and bounty hunters. And
was that bounty hunters like Dirty Bill something?
Well, the one that was based was
the first one that kills
Buckshot Roberts.
Buckshot Roberts.
That scene fucking rules. That guy gets off his goddamn horse. And he's like, I don't want to do nothing with y'all. I just want the $150 for him. Y'all are just worth $110. You ain't worth it. And then he's like, all right, let's. One man has
another guy whose strategy is just let's open up like no cover, and then he just like sits in an outhouse to get shot to death.
Dude, he's 1v6, and he wings two of them, kills Charlie Sheen, and presumably dies in that outhouse. I guess.
Also, Charlie Sheen is a fucking idiot because instead of just shooting the outhouse to like Kingdom Come, he's like, I'm gonna like walk up to the fucking outhouse and get shot. Just shoot the fucking
Charlie Sheen's still thinking that he's a cop. He's like, I'm gonna bring him in.
That'll work.
Let's say
blown away.
Let's say the scenario is that Buckshot Roberts shows up here at Mole Hole Ranch to bring in the mole hole guns, whatever we call ourselves, and he just ends up in an outhouse.
The mole guns.
I'm just gonna burn down the outhouse. Like, I'm not even gonna fuck with him. Like,
that's gonna happen. Like, just like later on in the movie.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. Like, the fire. You know how many problems in this movie could have been solved with just the element of fire? A lot. That was one of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, now the young guns are on the young runs, and they're being hunted and chased, and they're gonna make one of them gets married on like, I guess, like the shortest arranged marriage of all time.
Yeah, the one that the beta young gun, because at one point he goes to a whorehouse just so the whore can hug him.
Yeah, but he's nice with those hands, though.
Sometimes you just need a hug, man. Sometimes you just need.
No, not if you're a top male, Alec. You should know this.
That sounds like
that's not top male behavior. And you're just saying this to make dogs feel better.
You're sounding like a true beta because you think that you know what top males.
Oh, I'm absolutely a beta. Are you kidding me? Look at me.
Sean left. Sean left. There he accused of being a beta.
Sean got upset with all this top male conversation.
Did the hurricane? The hurricane didn't get you, did it?
No. I got bored to death watching the 6-3 Monday Night Football game and listening to you talk.
It's the Giants and the Cowboys, right? Oof.
Like, when as a nation are we going to overthrow the Cowboys' media rights? Like, this is fucking
It's like the one year that they gave Washington 3 primetime games. It's like, why? Like, for what?
So the young guns decide we're going to go to Mexico, and then they're going to go to Mexico, and because it's originally Billy the Kid wants to keep just shooting his way back to Washington or something, but they're like, you know what? It's a crazy ride to Mexico because everybody's looking for us, and here they go. And then they find out through Pat Garrett. No, who is it that tells Billy the Kid?
I think it's Pat Garrett.
They're coming after the lawyer friend. So they're like, uh-oh, we got to go save.
Also, this has, like, I don't think they ever planned on making Young Guns 2, but it has, like, the corniest, like, you're my friend, right, Pat? Yeah, I'm your friend, Billy. Like, because Pat Garrett ends up killing Billy the Kid. This is like, okay. Because I meant to tell you guys, so this movie impacted me a lot as a child. This got me going to the library reading up on, like, the fucking Old West and shit. I know, it was terrible. But I was like, because of this movie, I was obsessed with like Old West history.
I was also obsessed with Billy the Kid because I was left-handed, but it turned out he was never left-handed. They just fucking reversed a photograph by accident one time.
Is that right? Also, by the way, Billy, the real Billy the Kid, not the looker that Emilio Estevez is. Kind of looks like
rat boy.
Appalachian rat boy. Yeah.
Although a big friend to the Mexicans, like they were big fans of his. So
Is that right?
yeah,
Good for him.
And, shout out, I suppose.
Mi familia es tu familia. Right, Sean?
yeah, you got it. That's what we always say.
So now
I can't stop saying this shit.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah,
You just kept saying it. Like, all right, man, I get it. Thanks.
yeah.
No,
No, you don't understand. That's how I talk.
If you guys didn't know, that's how when the mic's off. That's how Sean's. Hey, man, what's going on?
Yeah, this is my what do they call that fucking
he's code
Northeastern?
switching right now.
Yeah.
It's like in Sorry to Bother You. Like Sean has a white person voice.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Man, the ambient lighting in this scene is really something else. I don't give a fuck about the lighting. I give a fuck about dominoes, bongos, and pussy. Those are the things I care about.
Oh boy, love it.
And La Bamba.
That's
Yeah.
right. And Obama.
Well, yeah, clearly.
Clearly. So,
Hey guys.
Hey, DJ, you piece of shit.
Sorry,
continue.
all right. So, anywho, the Pistol Babies end up in town going to the lawyer's house, and they're like, "Hey, jackass, we gotta run." And he's like, "Oh shit, fellas, I think they got the drop on you to get you in one place." And they're like, "Fuck!" And then every bad guy we've heard about,
like in the movie.
They all do it all in unison.
yeah, every bad guy that we've been hearing about that's hunting them, they approach from every cardinal direction. So each direction is worse than the one that preceded it. And they're surrounded by Jack Palance and his squad of hired goons. So they all open fire on the house. Billy the Kid shoots one dude in the head. He starts calling his shots like Babe Ruth.
Oh, that was like one of my favorite parts of the movie. He's like,
yeah,
hey,
that was awesome.
Hey, is that stupid Randy McCluskey? It's like, yeah, bang, blows his brains out.
What you know more?
Hey, what you know more?
He gone.
I love that scene so
Yeah, that
much.
was awesome.
So all the beef is in the barn. There's bullets flying everywhere. A group of U.S. cavalry or whatever show up because now President Hayes is like put an end to this insurrection. So then I also found out historically accurate that most of those troops were African American because that was the group that actually came.
I wondered about that.
Operation Human
African
Shield.
American. Yeah, it was a platoon or squad or whatever of African American U.S. soldiers led by this white dude. So that was another thing that made this, I guess, historically correct. So the place keeps getting shot. They light the building on fire. Fisticuffs goes from being a complete coward to having he goes from being Matt Damon at the end of Saving Private Ryan to being Matt Damon at the beginning of Saving Private Ryan, and is just shooting everybody in the world and screaming, "You bastards!" The Young Guns get a woman out. The Celestial comes in. We run out some.
Well, they're at first when they first light the building on fire, they start throwing out everything flammable. I guess in hopes of slowing the fire, even though the whole building is made of wood.
Yeah,
which doesn't really seem to make sense. But then as they're throwing everything out, they throw a huge chest out the top of the floor. And out pops Billy the Kid, who promptly starts blowing away everybody.
He does a punish. It's a Punisher at a mobster funeral move where he just springs out of the coffin.
That shit rocks.
So now they're kind of shoot their way out and they kind of escape, and some of them do and some of them don't. And Billy the Kid,
Charlie gets it.
Charlie gets it.
As soon as he's married, you're like, well, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlie gets it, and then Billy the Kid
trying to turn a hoe into a housewife.
Yeah. Jack Palance gets zapped from 1,000 yards away with a revolver, which is amazing, from horseback, which, I mean,
Yeah, fucking rocks.
And like he like stares at the sun and was like, and, like does like a full like 180.
Tobacco Joe got.
Well, then the lawyer gets Gatling guns. Like he gets he's an unarmed man escaping his own burning home in full view of the U.S. government, saying, "Good job, fellas." He just gets like fucking pepper-milled for 40 seconds. Like 2 of those shots would have done the job, and they just kept cranking on the thing. And then you find out that Kiefer Sutherland got his medical degree, and that's Young Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more motherfuckers named Doc, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, don't you guys have a doctor friend? Like, don't you got a Doc?
We don't call him Doc.
We don't call him Doc, though.
He is pretty. I'm going to start.
That is a handsome bastard.
He listens. You know what? Shout out, because he listens to every one of these shows.
But he won't listen. He won't listen to this for like a year.
Well, no, but here's what he's doing. He's this dedicated and insane. When he sees when we post the show, he sees what the movie is. He watches the movie first, and then he will not listen to the show until he's viewed that movie, so he can enjoy our commentary.
And I don't even watch the entirety of the movies that we do on the show.
And unlike certain listeners that we have, he doesn't sit there and criticize every goddamn segment of the show.
Dude,
Matt McCormick.
Yeah. I was talking about Anthony.
Oh, yeah, Matt.
I'm not gonna lie. I was blown away when our Dr. Fred was like talking to me about like all the movies, like all of the movies he's watched. He's like, I love how like
he bought Series 7 because of us. He had to buy a copy of it.
That's good,
genuine too. He's like, you guys have turned me on to so many good movies. I was like, God bless you.
Well, we also turned him off to all movies with some of the stuff
most movies.
But anyway, that's
a real one.
Shout out to a real one. But that's Young Guns.
Anthony.
Fun fact: I may have seen this movie once prior. I was watching. I was like,
shit me.
I was like, have I ever
this
seen?
Been like a God's like fucking classic.
So here's the thing. I think this is gonna fall into the same sort of mire pit of Top Gun, where I'm not bringing the emotional luggage of like loving this as a child to the table.
Oh no.
No, it's for Krull.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I was wrong about Krull. We've seen the tapes.
We've seen the tapes.
Back and to the left.
Yeah, that Krull episode. That was my Zapruder film. You watched a man die. But yeah, so that's Young Guns, baby.
Can we get a special shout out to Chavez's dope ass Spirit Walker makeup, because that shit was hard. He should have that on the whole movie.
Dude's name was Chavez E. Chavez. His name was Chavez and Chavez.
Historically accurate.
Yeah.
Based name.
Incredibly based name. Like. So here's the other thing. I was like, everyone when they made the announcement, they said Doc. I was like, is that supposed to be Doc Holliday? And then I was wondering, is this like one of those movies where they take all these historical characters and just mash them up like they did with that The Harder They Fall
Night at the Museum?
Yeah, like they just that's the night they all just came to life this one time, and then
you got to understand back in the. Good.
That movie we watched on the show with Chadwick Boseman, where it was Marshall. Where like every civil rights leader was at that bar that night, and it's like, wait a minute,
that actually happened.
Oh shit!
No, but you gotta remember, in cowboy times, every third dude was just like named Doc. It's like Braden now.
Yeah, like if you applied a Band-Aid to someone once, you're Doc. But yeah, so I was actually kind of shocked because as I was reading about it, and I think this is. I'm going to say, I think parts of this movie are kind of clunky, in the middle, and I think it's because they're trying to kind of hold more to the actual historic narrative, and they need to connect the dots from, how they got together to how it ultimately ends.
I think the movie's clunky because they come in way too hot, they establish everything in 10 seconds.
So strong.
Right. And then they it's like, oh shit, we got an hour to fill. Let's have 4 jig scenes.
But but there's not it seems like the group, and maybe this was true to the historic whatever, but the cohesion of the group ebbs and flows and wanes, and Doc's going to town now, but now Doc's back, or so and so's in and so and so's out.
Dick's mom.
Yeah. Say hi to your mother for me. But but then it culminates in just like an insane shootout. So it's like, I don't know, it's something. The scene, I would say this: the scene where Billy the Kid zaps that guy that he accuses to be a traitor and sprays his last thoughts all over Kiefer Sutherland's face. That shit was wild. And then fucking Lou Diamond Phillips gives a guy a spinal with a Bowie knife from like 6 yards away. Like,
no, this is like a fucking Eli Roth movie.
Like this movie is awesome. It's like
I fucking love this movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it too.
But yeah, it does suffer from late 80s jank, where it's just like we got all these bits that don't really go together, but we're just gonna kind of push them in the middle. Through.
Yeah, but like, what a crop of actors to be in this film.
It's got a lot of shit that like I don't care about though, like Kiefer Sutherland and his War Bride and like all that other like, and all the dancing. It's like fucking Step Up to the Streets.
You could cut out all the stuff with China. It seems a little forced. Like it's a little. And then at the end, when she's like, "No, I want to be with you," in the middle of the shootout, it's like, why? Like,
I guess that's better than being with Terrence Stamp.
And she's with Jack Palance.
No, Jack Palance.
Jack Palance, excuse me.
But
well, and then she ends up with Terrence Stamp.
But but like, I don't know, like Kiefer Sutherland, it's kind of like to a lesser extent, it's kind of like what has spawned incels, because he's just really annoying to this woman, and then she loves him.
He's like,
Doesn't he
like,
why are you with Jack Palance? Why don't you want to be with a nice guy?
Yeah, I wrote you a poem. Like, you barely speak English, but I wrote you a poem. Why don't you understand the nuance of my poem, you bitch?
Also, I think we should reiterate that Jack Palance acquired her because the laundry ruined a shirt of his, and so he got
based.
to be a person.
Yeah, based. Absolutely.
Like, next time you go to Burger King and they fuck up your long chicken sandwich and give you the round one, you should be able to just take one of their people.
I got lunch today, and I wanted to take a picture and send it to Sean, because it's like the kind of shoddy... Like, I thought whoever made this sandwich should have gone to jail. I got like an Italian cold cut, and I asked for lettuce, tomato, onions, and mayo, right?
Yeah.
The onions were like chunks of onion. Like, they like quartered the onion and put it on the sandwich. Same with the tomato. The tomato slices were like an inch and a half.
Wedges.
Was like fat Pico de Gallo.
No, it's like they took the fuck. They made like they had like a salad
pizza
laying around.
Salad.
Yeah, they had a salad around, just stuck it on the sandwich. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, whoever made this sandwich should have gone to jail. But yeah, if that person had a daughter, they should have legally had to betroth them to me to make that awful sandwich. I totally agree with Jack Palance.
Shout out to fucking
put that
pizza
on the ballot.
place salads. They are the worst.
Awful.
Like, everybody should get executed.
Yeah, terrible. Just give me the pizza. I cook it a pizza. All right. Anything else? This movie, Gogs is going to give it a 5, and I'm going to be pissed off.
This is
not getting a 5. It's not getting a 5.
I would have penciled this in as an 8 for Gogs, just straight off the rip. Like, it just seems like a movie you would enjoy.
You're not going to be look. I'll tell you right now, you're not going to be disappointed. It is an 8 for me. It's just not a 10.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you guys are like hovering in 10 territory.
No, I mean, we'll get to the score, but no, it's not not quite.
Oh, wait, okay. Well, it's hands down it's a ton of fun.
Yeah,
and it's like,
all right. Well, then we're not losing our minds here. All right, knuckle shovel time. Dogs, whatever.
It's an 8. It's a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
Wild shit happens. It's got some chunkiness in the middle, which
we all do.
Expressed.
Yeah,
right.
Well, not Sean.
But in general, it's a lot of fun. It opens with it comes out of the gate swinging. And it kind of, the problem is it loses its energy rapidly.
I normally
then
wouldn't
picks up
say
right
this,
at the end.
but like it comes out too fast. Like, it's like usually I'm like, when is this movie gonna get going? It's like it can't keep its own pace.
That's not what you sound like.
This is a straight out the box ooh-wop. And then
like, oh no, why did it going so fast? Slow down. Shit.
Oh, got no creep. All right, so now it's but like it comes out swinging.
I was gonna say Gogs couldn't say that, but he is like a quarter Mexican.
I am. I got just enough.
He's like Louis C.K., so it's okay.
In many ways.
Yeah. Gogs, stop jerking
off. Out right now.
I'm trying to watch wrestling. He's just jacking it, looking at
Hey,
me, not blinking.
while you're
Like, this
drawing
is
that,
this is an audition. This is an audition, right?
Right.
TJ is
an
my
audition-
Sarah Silverman.
An audition to deliver blueprints? Yeah, just while you're doing that schedule, let me just jack it on your shoulder.
But yeah, no, it's an 8. And
All right,
yeah,
the
people
world
are
is saying that's fine. I was worried.
yeah, it's not. Yeah. I'm just like not coming through. I maybe. Well, Sean.
It's an 8 for me. It would be
Okay.
even. It would be like pushing 9, 10 if it didn't have so many fucking dance scenes. Like it's like every time the movie gets going, it's like, oh boys, whoa Nelly, we gotta slow this down a little bit. Like
Every Young Guns dance now.
I got you guys some homemade
MC
Pepsi.
should
It's a
have been a
little
Young
thick,
Gun.
but the price is right. It's just like they're unnecessary, and like it just kills the movie fucking stone dead. And the rest of the movie's like a ton of fun, and like the whole scene where he's like, well, tell me about this Billy the Kid. What's he like? Well, it's like, well, he's handsome and he whistles sad songs. And, like that whole scene's fucking awesome.
Rocks.
That scene fucking.
I'm glad we brought that up. I love that scene.
The
too,
part where he
Yeah.
does the underhanded, where he's handing him the gun back and he
Yeah.
flips it underhand, he giggles at him a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I also
Yeah, no.
love the fucking, like, there he is right there, and he's looking in the mirror. Like, that's
Yeah.
fun. That's a great little bit.
That was very Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Now that you kind of bring it up.
His whole portrayal is like very Joker.
Like the fucking, I love when they get the newspaper. It's like, hey, there's a picture of Billy, and it's a drawing of Charlie Sheen. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck, newspapers don't ever get shit right.
Billy the Kid, he's literally me.
Yeah. Nah, I think this movie's great. Like for a Western in the late 80s, this is about as good as it's gonna get, because like they weren't doing like you don't get another decent Western till what, like fucking, did Unforgiven come out before Tombstone?
I think Unforgiven came out after Tombstone.
I think it's after. I think Tombstone's the
Right.
next. I think Tombstone was 92 or 93.
Unforgiven,
Right.
though, what a banger that movie!
Well, that
is.
movie slaps.
The Duck of Danger, yeah. What happened
Oh
to
my
that
God.
guy? Old Clint
I thought you were talking about
Hackman.
Gene Hackman. I think he's dead. No, I think he's like very.
No, he
close to
retired after Welcome to Mooseport. He was like, I'm fucking out. This movie sucks. That's a true
Listen,
story.
He was also in Quick and the Dead, right?
Yeah, that movie. I think
That's
that's
a
a
good one.
really
I like that
underrated movie.
Isn't that
agreed.
Isn't that Sam Raimi?
Yeah, his Oldsmobile's actually in the movie. It's just got a tarp over it.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, DiCaprio, like, was I fast? Like, kid, you were so fast as he's dying. Anyway, different movie. But yeah, I think Young Guns is a fucking blast, dude. And I like I said, I've seen it a billion times. And shout out to the same guy that made Free Jack, like Mulehole royalty, because that movie fucking
Yeah,
rules,
that's
too.
right. I forgot about that because I was watching the beginning and I was like, "Has this guy directed anything?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, he directed Free Jack," which if I remember correctly, we all really liked.
The movie fucking rules.
I have positive sense memory of Free Jack.
That was a weird ass movie. What a weird concept for a movie. All right, pass the mic.
8. Alec.
10.
Hell yeah.
Slaps. Like I didn't find any problems with it. I thought the pacing was fine. I like the dance scenes. You can never have enough Irish jigs in the Old West, as far as I'm concerned.
You say that a lot.
Every scene we've just talked about. Yeah, if there was a time period of Americana I could go back to and live in that's not now, it would be the Old West at the peak of jig season.
Now, historically, you don't like Westerns.
That is true.
No.
So this is high praise.
I feel like you haven't been exposed to a lot of good Westerns, because
I must not have, because I love Tombstone.
Yeah.
And like this I have loved. Like this isn't like new to this to now. Yeah. Like Young Guns is a movie I've loved for a long, long time. Because it's not like, I feel like it's not like a traditional Western kind of.
No,
I guess it is.
Movie.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna take a Western and cast all these young, not necessarily great actors in it, just a bunch of good looking kids who are famous at the moment.
Yeah.
This movie fucking slaps. Every scene we just talked about is outstanding. Like everybody's so good in it. Emilio Estevez, while not good, is so interesting. Like playing off of everybody else that it is good. Like whatever he's doing, because everybody else is trying to like act. And he's like, I'm just gonna be fucking unhinged and weird here, and we'll see what happens. And
Yeah.
it all works.
Alec,
Yeah.
do you have any affinity for the other Sheen Estevez vehicle, Men at Work? Because I feel like I love that movie, and
like
I've
that
seen it
movie.
1,000 times.
I've never seen that movie.
I remember liking
Really?
it, seeing it younger, but I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Probably since it was on like TBS or TNT like all day when I was a kid.
How did you feel about Young Guns 2? You didn't really talk about Young Guns.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking loved it too. It was awesome. Like they're both awesome. Both movies slap.
I remember
Young Guns 2, you basically trade Charlie Sheen for Christian Slater.
Okay.
Christian Slater
that's
plays
right.
like Dirty Dave Rutabaga or something. And he's great in it. And he's a great, like, what do you call it? Like antithesis, I guess, to Charlie Sheen's character in this one, because he joins the gang, but he's like a complete scumbag. He's part of the gang, but he keeps calling it like Dave's gang, and Billy the Kid is just like, okay, sure, and just keeps like laughing at him. And then like they come across a Native American graveyard, and he's like, oh, you could get $100 for Apache bones, and he starts trying to dig in the graves to like.
Can you still do that?
I don't know. He starts digging in the graves to take their bones, and there's a great fight with him and Lou Diamond Phillips, where Christian Slater ends up putting a knife like straight through his arm.
Jesus.
Oh shit!
It's fucking gruesome. But apparently they did that because Lou Diamond Phillips for real broke his arm, and they needed to write around so he wasn't using his like left arm the whole time.
Hell yeah!
So they had Christian Slater's fake stab him through the arm so they could just like wrap it up the whole time and he wouldn't have to use it. But both these movies slap. Young Guns 2 is a 10 also. Like I should have just made it like we had to watch both of them and made everybody do both, because they're both so fucking good.
I mean, I think we've got all sorts of wacky rules you could invoke to make your pick next week for whatever October is. Young Guns 2.
I could just override the theme for next week and make you guys watch it, and I'll watch it again because it slaps.
I mean, I'm not mad at that.
No, I'll do it.
All right. Well,
hold on. Let's get into. We all haven't gone. Thank you. Jeez.
No, but we know you're going to give it a 10, because if you don't, I'm going to kick you in the dick.
He's going to give it an 8.
I don't have any feeling.
But this, okay.
He's going to reinstate feeling to your penis and then kick you in the dick.
If anyone could, it would be Alec.
Reinstate like there was a decree. Like
it was banished.
Gogs is really talking a little too inside baseball, because Alec is the commissioner of my penis and he delisted my penis.
Wow.
It's just like the NYSE. It's been delisted off the stock exchange.
I thought you meant it was like delisted because it was using licensed music or something.
But yeah, this movie is a 10, and everybody should see Young Guns.
It's awesome.
And it really isn't racist at all, which is kind of surprising.
Shockingly enough.
Weird. And no rapes.
Like when anybody when anybody says anything negative about the Native Americans or the Mexicans, people like immediately come to their defense like, no.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of wild, isn't it? Yeah, like I didn't really think about it while I was watching it. But you're
for like a late '80s movie about this. Like I would have thought there would have been a lot of slurs, and there are slurs. There are people who say slurs, but somebody always like stands up to them. It's not like it's just accepted or taken.
Also, no hard Fs in this movie. I thought there would be at least one. We're usually due for at least one hard F in this era of film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, there was some implied boy fucking though between Jack Palance and Terrence Stamp.
But I mean that's a lot different than a hard F.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, TJ.
Well, I guess I'm getting my dick kicked in. It's an 8 for me. I really love it though. It's a fun movie. I agree with Sean. It has pacing problems that I didn't recognize when I was a child because I don't know. I had I don't know. I just
too busy fucking playing Transformers when all the boring shit was happening.
Yeah, I just remember the cool parts. I still love this movie. It's a ton of fun. I echo Alex's statement that Emilio Estevez is the worst actor in this movie, but his portrayal is a blast. Like
That's very compelling.
he's kind of in a different movie. Like I feel like everybody else is like really serious, and he's just like
He's
goofy.
like in a play or something, like a high camp kind of like, hello boys, it's me,
works.
Billy.
Like it's a lot of fun, and like it's weird that it's weird enough where it makes it really compelling. I love it. I love all of the characters. Like I don't know. I feel like I know Kiefer Sutherland is a very like successful actor, but I feel like he never gets enough shine. Like I really like him in this movie a lot.
Well, because he's a huge dick. Nobody wants to work with him.
Wasn't he
he's like a complete fucking asshole.
Well, he isn't, and it wasn't he like a terrible alcoholic for most of his life. I think he's like better now, but like.
I mean, I'm always going to... Dark City alone is going to always make me love Kiefer Sutherland.
He's like this weird shit. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I like him as an actor. Like, I always have. And he's the voice of Venomous Snake. He's always going to have my love for that. But, I don't know. I really enjoy this. I can see why I like this movie so much as a kid. It's crazy violent. Like, the action scenes are kind of really horribly staged and shot, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. So that's a good segue for this because I was going through the trivia last night.
Yes.
None of the fight scenes were choreographed. They just let them They said they just let them improvise.
Yeah, you can tell because they're bad. Like they're not shot very well. They're not staged very well. But it works because it's just like crazy violent, so it feels authentic. Like I don't know what a real gunfight would look like, but like. I probably like this where they just kind of just shoot at each other. Like, I don't know. I love this movie though.
It's like most fights that you would see in real life.
Right.
Like fist fights are just people flailing wildly, hoping to connect. It's not
right. They're not
stand
dodging.
up, set up
They're
your
not
dukes.
John Woo. Yeah, no, I get it. But it's a lot of fun. And like to me, top tier 80s film, like 100%. Like
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, this is like right there. With some of the best 80s movies. Like, I really, really enjoy this movie a lot. And to Sean's point, like, he's right. Like, you really didn't have, like, Westerns kind of died. Like, they didn't really do Westerns back then. So, like, it was this for a long time. And, like, as a kid, like, I really liked all the Clint Eastwood Westerns. Like, I was kind of raised on those because those were always at the video store. Like, they were the movies that nobody rented. So they were always available. So, like, I went from... Like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like this isn't too far from like a really, because spaghetti westerns were really violent, and I feel like this isn't too far from like a Duck You Sucker or any of the Leone movies.
Or Django,
yeah. Like I feel like this is pretty close. Like I don't know if the director was like directly influenced by spaghetti westerns, but it definitely feels like it, and I think it works really well. Like I don't know. I really enjoy the movie. I like a good. Like I like, in crime movies, I always like the gang thing. Like it's a fun dynamic to have like a band of outlaws. Like it's fun. Like I like it a lot. You could make this into like a show, and I would be into it. You know what I mean? Like it would be great. Like I'm a big fan. This movie was so cool when I was a kid. I watched some awful television show that I convinced myself was related, but it wasn't. It was about like the Pony Express. Does anybody remember that show?
No.
It was an old West show. It was fucking horrible, but I watched it all the time, and it was not violent or fun. But I was like, I like cowboy shit now because I watch Young Guns and I watch that shit.
That's why you love Hangman Page so much. Cowboy shit. Yeah,
I do love Hangman Page a lot. That handsome devil.
When did Posse come out?
Oh, Posse rules. That's a good one too. That's
Posse
a good one.
Does rule.
That might have been before Tombstone and Unforgiven.
Posse
was 93.
We could just change next month from to Wollywood to How the West Was Fun and just do westerns.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Dude, Tombstone and Posse same year.
Bangers.
Both 93.
Well, then I'll take first pick next week, and it'll be Young Guns too.
I'm in.
Are we doing a Western month? Are we calling it?
Yeah.
I literally just said it.
I didn't. Good point. Sorry.
Remember one. I forget which week it is, but 1 week we're doing a special birthday episode for Kobe. So I'll forfeit my pick for that.
Oh,
I hope he likes westerns.
And also, there's a new Halloween movie coming out this month.
Oh God, yeah, that's right.
We also
Halloween
got
ends.
Gogs' birthday is next month too, right? I still got to get Clerks in at some point.
No, mine's in November.
November.
Oh, okay.
We have a few more weeks.
Yeah, we got a stay of execution on that one.
Yeah.
Oh God. Also, still not available on the torrents. No one really cares. Like everybody's just like, "Yep."
Nobody could even be bothered.
Willie hears you. Willie don't care. Anyway, all right. So next week, Young Guns 2.
Man, we've never done back-to-back sequels.
No,
This is exciting. It's like we have a part 2.
Yeah, this is awesome. To be continued. This next week with 100% more Bon Jovi.
Nice.
Blaze of Glory.
I don't want to disappoint anybody. It's not in the movie at all.
What? Oh, damn.
Did it get nominated for an Academy Award or some shit?
God, it was all over.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's all over. It's like over the. I think it's over the beginning and over the end credits, but they don't play it during the movie.
Okay, but it's there.
All over the promotion. I remember.
Hell yeah! It's like one of the. It's probably his best song.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
that or Wanted Dead or Alive.
There's 2 songs from the movie. I remember because there's Blood Money, and there's Blaze of Glory. He might have done a whole album. I don't remember, but I remember those 2 songs. Anyway, all right. Next week, Young Guns 2, Double the Guns. They're still young. They haven't gotten old. Watch out for Pat Garrett. Gogs, do you have anything to promote?
Yeah, I want to promote shout out to Randy Travis, who is the Gatling gun operator in Young Guns.
Shit. Also, Randy Travis is in Terminator 2. He's in the fucking the bar where Arnold like comes in to get the leather bike or the leather jacket and the motorcycle.
The guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music.
His song is playing in the bar, and he's in the bar. That's weird. Randy Travis is all over a fucking movie. Terminator 2, which you don't like, by the way, which is just disgusting. Disgusting opinion.
It's not
sick.
It's not my fault.
It is your fault.
100% not.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Reprehensible.
You got to do the Zizek disgusting. Yeah, it is disgusting.
Gogs, the problem with the Gogs, that's my best Zizek. I can't. It's really weird.
It's a joke for me and you, and that's it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Zizek is great. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, everybody. That's the show. You know the drill. Go eat your own ass. Don't watch football. It's
lube
terrible.
up boys if they can defend your homes.
Lube up oil down your Young Guns.
There you go. That's a t-shirt right there. Oil down your Young Guns. It's right there with Scissor Me Ass Daddy. Or Daddy
Scissor Me Daddy Ass is legit the best thing ever.
All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Later.